Hello, my name is Jacob Campos. I'm going to be doing a mechanic breakdown of a mechanic that's in Shadow of Mordor, Middle-earth. The mechanic for this one is just consecutive executions. It plays really well. That's the main focal point. It does have a lot of really positive feedback, such as sound and particle effects that happen to really give it the oomph and the juice. But we're going to be focusing on the consecutive execution and what that can do for us, how we can implement it into our own game. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and play the video, and you'll see that the player moves from here to the target enemy that he has selected, just like that. Now, to break down the beginning of this, you can see that he's translating himself through time. That could easily be accomplished in Unreal Engine by doing a set actor location or a set actor relative location, especially when you're basing off what enemy you're looking at. Now, whatever enemy he has, you're going to see that when I hit this play button again, you're going to see that there's a blue bar down here. I'll go ahead and play it for a second so you can see it better. There's a blue bar right here, and this is his stamina bar, essentially, for these consecutive executions. It's going to keep going down the more he looks at a new enemy and does these consecutive executions. You'll also notice that time slows down. That's time dilation. So let's go ahead and play and see what that looks like. You can see everything slowing down as he does this execution. He's completely immune to damage as he's running through and selecting these new enemies. Just like that, all the way until he runs out of juice on his bar. So you'll see he's hitting this one, he gets a final execution, and then he exits the ability to do that. So going back to the beginning of that, what we have is he's able to execute time dilation. So now each AI, especially in Unreal Engine with our AI management system, what we could do is we could put a time dilation node, and what that would allow us to do is time dilation to actor. And that's going to control just those actors, because it's not the whole world slowing down, it's just the enemies. So if we do that, then each instance of those guards, those actors, those enemies are going to be slowed down respectively. That could be time dilation 0.5, time dilation 0.2, and that would be 50 to 80% respectively. Now, that really adds a lot of flavor because the player is not slowed down, and that's why we don't want to slow down the whole game. We just want to slow down the enemies and still keep the focus on the player. Now you'll notice that, for instance, in this perfect pause moment right here, this enemy has the X, which for us would be F for execution. Now this synergizes really well with our game because we have executions and we have a score system. So you see that there's a combo add up right here and some additional scores that are being added up overall for all these executions. We already have it implemented, so with the combo and with the consecutive executions would be really good for our game, because right now we can only execute one at a time. But being able to do it back to back and really switch opponents really fast would really give it a ninja-like feel. It's really nice. But let's go ahead and focus on how we get the player to pick the next target. What I see happening is that it's not where the player character is looking, it's where your camera is looking. So if we run a ray trace from the center of a camera and we find the closest enemy based off the center of our camera, then we can activate in their blueprint the show the X or the F or whatever key is for execution, and I want you to show that. And if player presses that button, select that enemy in the array of enemies to play. Now, as these executions go, there are always montages for these executions, and so we can make an array of montages that play that's already based on the character so that they sync up very well per the montage, and it's a random montage to give it a nice flavor, just like it happens here. Each execution has its own unique flair. Time dilation, go to player, play the montages. Time dilation, go to player, play the montages, and it's rinse and repeat from there. This is my video breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to trying to implement this into our game at a later date. Goodbye.